Yo, what's going on, guys? Jetxc here. Hopefully you guys are doing good. If you didn't catch my live stream, no worries. We're going to be going over everything here, and I'm just going to quickly do a synopsis of the new stuff that's coming for Browndust2, and I'm going to try and mention a couple of things that were mentioned on stream that probably aren't mentioned here. So I'm going to kind of breeze through a lot of the stuff that, we always get: Fiend Hunt, Guild Raid, all that stuff, but this is our first Halloween event, so regardless, guys, it's pretty exciting. So yeah, let's just get into the developer notes for what's upcoming for the Halloween patch and beyond. So um it says, for those of you who have missed the stream, developer notes will cover all key assets, and we have the Halloween night event. And so we're going to have a season event story with Sonya and Grandhilder in the back here. Ro will be included, but they talk about basically a little synopsis of the story, which I won't spoil. Here's some images of their costumes, and we're going to get into that in a second. But a lot of really good artwork. It looks like it's going to be a very cute story. So I think a lot of people are going to be excited for that. And now we have Little Pumpkin Sonya. We have an outfit for her. They showed her cutscene, which definitely check out the cutscene in the live stream. I can't show them on here, so unfortunately, but do check it out. All right, so Little Pumpkin Girl Sonya is a young girl who grew up in a pumpkin farm at the edge of Fairy Tale Village. And then they say this version of Sonya introduces a unique combat concept. She inflicts a debuff called Nightmare on her enemies, and those afflicted take additional damage each time they're attacked. So we have a new debuff. Sonya also gains a new ability skill, Assemble, making her the second character after Raphitia to use the skill. So Sonya, if you guys can't already tell, is going to be somebody that is super important when it comes to overall general content, Guild Raid, Fiend Hunt, everything. So this is definitely sounding like a must-have. Now we have Boo Ghost Grandhilder, and as you saw earlier, I mean, just incredible design, right? I really wish they put more detail in the boob area. They kind of have like the glossy boobs effect where there's like no like intrusion on the nipple area, but it still looks good. So Boo Ghost Grandhilder is a mischievous spirit who suddenly appears in Fairy Tale Village. In the battle, she deals direct attack that scales with the amount of energy guard she currently holds, inflicting extra damage on her foes. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I am excited for Grandhilder, but I feel like her costume, at least for me, is going to be a +1 because she's such a PvP heavy unit. I will really have to see how this skill will work. Maybe it could work in Guild Raid, but I don't know. It's definitely going to be a +1 costume, but her design is definitely peak, so this is for sure a must pull, right? So we have some images here of Little Pumpkin Girl Sonya. This was a cute little cutscene, right? Art team says Teehee, Squishy Soft, Tanya Jelly. Then we have Boo Ghost Grandhilder, and this one is a wild one because when she does her scary look, and you'll see it in the animation, she like rolls her eyes back. So definitely not scary at all. Art team comment, 176 centimeters / option white free. Oh, okay, so this is like a purchase of the costume. 2 stars. People don't get scared and just stare, but hey, the outfit's cute. Nice. All right, so we have the Boo Ghost Grandhilder coming the 23rd, and then after that, we've got Little Pumpkin Sonya, we've got a rerun of Blade, and Pure White Blessing Raphitia, which both of these are going to be some pretty big reruns, so do keep that in mind. Fiend Hunt, great. We'll read up on Fiend Hunt when we get closer to the date. Guild Raid, great. And the new faded guest is Neon Savior Angelica. Now, I did see some people kind of apprehensive about Neon Savior Angelica because they were just like, why? But I think after they showed it, people were excited. Me, personally, I do really like Neon Savior Angelica, so I'm completely fine with this. This is actually one of my favorite costumes for her. So, and obviously, when you see it, it'll be pretty nice. Here's a little bit. Returning from her appearance in Character Pack 2 NPC Quest, Neon Savior Angelica joins us, a new fitted guest. Angelica appears as the leader of Arclight, a group of survivors in a world already fallen to ruin. And that's going to be the synopsis of the story, and then you kind of get into it from there. And here is a little sneak peek at what it looks like. Definitely peak, and Jesus, guys, the detail on the armpits is insane. Okay, so I'm going to explain this real quick, the voice support policy for interaction. So, as you guys know, we haven't been getting voice support for most recently like Sylvia and other characters, and only a few of the interactions or fated guests are voiced. So, and this is specifically not the story, but the actual interaction itself. So what they're going to do is, if the Korean VA is okay with voicing the interaction, they will have it voiced. But if they're not, then they're going to get another Korean voice actor that will voice the interaction, right? Similar to like Therese or something like that. So yeah. And then also they're working on an update to where if you're already using like the Japanese dubbing, you won't have to like switch it, right? So that'll be like a nice little quality of life update to where it should switch automatically to the Korean dubbing for the interaction. So I think this is overall a good change, because I know me especially, a lot of us enjoy the fated guest interaction, so that'll be peak. Okay, now we have a new TOA update here. So essentially they're going to be changing the way you do things. Wildcard costume selection system has been added. Previously, all 5 costumes were chosen randomly at the start of a challenge, but now you choose 4 from the initial random set. So you get a set and you choose the 4, and then the 5th one you can choose from the entire costume list. So to kind of help you out a little bit, which I think is nice, right? So honestly, I mean, not a bad change. I do like the little subtle changes they make to Tower of Salvation. And honestly, if we keep going, they've got some other changes. So they have a 31st floor, which is just a crystal ball, and it's basically just a pinata. You literally hit it, and based off that, they calculate the damage, so there are less ties at the top ranks. So whoever is doing the most damage will get, you know, first, second, third, whatever, based off of how much damage they do to the crystal ball. So that's a nice little add too. But my favorite add, honestly, guys, if we scroll down, oh, and then they also talk about how they give you like the high score number there as well. So now here's what they added. Next, your highest cleared level will now carry over to the next season. So no starting over anymore, guys. If you beat level 10, you will start at level 10. And now also too, on top of that, a new checkbox has been added only to use the daily free keys during quick battle. So now you can use your daily free keys for quick battle. And yeah, once you get to level 10, you're good. And their biggest change, they're adding a retry when you get defeated. I don't know, you guys have seen me play Tower of Salvation on stream. When I'm not paying attention and I'm talking to chat, I want to like switch up my team, but I die and I can't like go back, right? So they finally added a retry feature here, so that's very, very good. And then ID card update. I'm not really going to focus too much on this because it's just adding more customizable settings. It's really not anything too special. It is what it is with that, right? And then they added like some new things based off of like high scores or decorations and stuff like that. So if you want to take a look, definitely do so. The new mini game Slap Slap Pop, they added some adjustments. They have a training mode where you can basically just practice for fun and obviously enjoy the view a lot more. They've added some effects here. So if we look at this, let's see, where is it? We've refined the speed adjustment options. Previously, only 1 time, 2 times, and 4 times were added, but they fine-tuned it to 1 to 8 times or 0.5 increments for the speed adjustment options. So you can kind of customize it to how you want to play. They've adjusted how the screen looks to make it easier for the buttons. Also, too, on top of that, they've added a D and K key to the PC client, just to make things easier by pressing. And then I think it's like slash and something else. I forget the other button. Another quality of life is typically when you enter Browndust2, you'll start off from the field, but you'll be able to just start off from the home screen automatically. So I guess, you know, cool. No, not that big of a deal to me, but I guess another quality of life. They're continuously making changes to make it more convenient for players. So that's why I appreciate these small little changes. So yeah, that's pretty cool. In addition, you'll now be able to skip intro videos such as the opening cutscenes with a tap, and dispatch messages will no longer appear over the intro video. So this is typically when you get like a new costume or new fiend hunt. So you'll be able to skip those if you want. So completely up to you. Now, quick dismantle. Let's talk about this. We realized that improving the lengthy process of enhancing and dismantling gear could significantly reduce unnecessary playtime, so we revisited the idea. Converting each material's expected value into refining powder directly proved difficult since each material has different value. Instead, we focused on most time-consuming step in the progress, gear upgrades. Currently, each gear upgrade success or failure is calculated in real time. Since drastically improving calculation speed in a short time isn't feasible, we've changed the system to skip actual upgrade attempts and use expected success rates instead. So gold is now consumed at fixed amount based on expected success rate through the new quick dismantle feature. Because actual upgrades are no longer performed, the time from auto upgraded to dismantling has been greatly reduced. Please note that quick dismantle feature will be added in November 6th. So this sounds solid. I really want to test it out. I think the whole process of gearing is very tedious for me and very boring. So if this feature turns out to be really good, I mean, I will definitely praise it, but we'll have to see. I think it's a solid idea. We'll have to see how it plays out, but from everything I'm seeing, I'm really liking it. Oh, hang on, guys. I have my chat in the way. Hang on. I am sorry about that. My chat was in the way the whole time. I didn't realize that. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. So we've got new ability skills. Not that big of a deal. We can kind of skip that. So story pack 19 here. So let's go over this real quick. So story pack 19 Forgotten War update. As mentioned previously, this update was originally planned for September, but it was postponed to November for further improvement quality. Story pack 19 serves as a turning point leading into a new world featured in story pack 20. More details will be shared in the live stream. And then they're going to be doing some updates to 15 to 18. They will undergo a renewal update to kind of improve on the narration. So we were kind of talking about this in the chat, but it sounds like after Story Pack 19, we're going to be getting, or no, during Story Pack 19, we're going to be getting introduced to a bunch of new characters. I don't know if we're going to be focused on Justia and the crew anymore. I have no idea. Next live stream, they should be giving us that information, but the ending of the storyline that we have will end with Story Pack 19. Storis will be the final villain, obviously, and then Chapter 20 will be something completely new. If you guys have been paying attention to the season event stories, especially the last one with Sonya, there's a new enemy called Mother. We have the Reveries. I kind of went over it a little bit in a video way back. I'll do it one more time at some point. But yeah, we're basically getting a lot of new characters. So let me know if you guys want to see like a new storyline with the new main cast or stay with the main cast. Golden Coliseum, if you guys remember, this was the PvP thing where it was basically you take a turn, the other person takes a turn, and it keeps going and going and going. And it's like a whole... I forgot the character amount, but it was at least 9 characters on each side and maybe more. This will be releasing in, I think they gave a date. I think it's in November this will be releasing. So definitely keep an eye out on this. But yeah, essentially it's just a new PvP that has a bit of a twist to it, different from the regular PvP. It's based off of automatic turns. So you have a set number of units, and then you have I'm assuming you'll have like a preset of what those units can do, and then you just watch them take turns and then fight each other. Okay. So one other thing they did talk about here, guys, was the balance policy. So apparently they didn't let us know about this, but the reason why characters like Tyr and Darien are OP is because they don't want to release a character that is weak in combat performance because interest in the next costume may drop, which is definitely a thing, right? Especially when they're trying to push out people to +5 a unit. Obviously, they're doing that to based off the character kit, right? So we're going to be seeing units that may be a little bit OP, but they did admit that Tyr and Darien definitely come off a bit busted, so they're going to be working on that. On stream, though, they did also mention starting next year in January, there's going to be a huge focus on magic units. So we're going to see where that leads, because obviously magic is kind of suffering right now with all the conveniences that physical units have. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, they basically apologized in not explaining it to everybody. And yeah, that's what they're going to be doing going forward. If you guys, I'm kind of going to skip on this one, but they basically go on to talk about how the collab event is going to be going the same exactly how it was last year, which I think is completely fine because some people were asking for certain things for free or something like that, but it's like they said they want to do everything exactly the same, so I really don't think this is a big deal. And then they also apologized for there not being enough content, and obviously things got delayed like Story Pack 19 and the new PvP Golden Coliseum, so that's why things have been a bit rough. And they're also preparing for December 2.5, which, by the way, I'll say this now, just to let you guys know. They pretty much said Eclipse is going to have a skill, or not a skill, a fated guest this year, basically meaning she's going to be one of the Annie characters that will have a fated guest. So she will definitely be a plan in the 2.5 anniversary. On top of that too, they said that they will have like the whole website registration on like December 5th or something like that. So they're already undergoing like planning for the fated guest. So it should be pretty interesting. And I guess I'll add on this too. They actually talked a little bit about the interactions because some people thought Justia's interactions were better than Therese. And Origami was kind of talking about why he thinks that is, and it may have something to do with like the actual, you know, when you touch something and then the character reacts, it's probably like the quality of it or like what they do, or it's essentially like the setting that it's in, right? So they're going to keep that in mind and work on that for future interactions. And yeah, that's really about it. They go over the October survey, which I thought was kind of interesting. They basically kind of went into like different things about the story, like what's the reason you don't view the story, or like if you even read stories. And obviously a big percentage, I don't usually read the stories. I plan to read it later. It didn't seem interesting. Obviously there's a good amount of people in gacha games, and I've been telling people that don't read story. A lot of people seem to not believe that people don't read story in gachas. It is definitely a thing. I've done it myself, especially way back in the day. But yeah, and then they also talked about like what's the reason you don't view the story. They also go into it more in depth, and one of the biggest answers was like lack of time or too busy, which can happen. And yeah, I mean, they go over interactions and the rating them, and then which skill cutscenes did you like the most. Sylvia first, Darian second, Sonya last. Right, so yeah, it was a pretty interesting survey. Nothing too crazy. I mean, it's something that we already kind of know, obviously. And that's really about it. I will say there definitely seems to be some people asking for the game difficulty to go down, so I wonder if they'll do anything with that in the future. We'll have to see. But yeah, overall, really good stuff. I will definitely be making another video kind of going over some key things. I think we're gonna try and go over like Olivier, Grandhilder, and Sonya pretty soon. I'll maybe make some video content on that. But yeah, Browndust2 is coming back in full force, and I think I'll also do a video on the story. So that's really it, guys. Hopefully that synopsis wasn't too long. I know some of you like to listen to me yap, but yeah, that's about it. Let me know who you're excited for and what are your thoughts on the new story upcoming for Chapter 19 and beyond. All right, I'm out. Later.